All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are playing Monster of the Week tonight. We've got a full crew, even though Chuck looks a little different. He's finally turned off his Zoom auto filtering stuff, so you can see what he really looks like.
This is the real me.
Shocker.
Touch up my appearance.
He's an octogenarian white woman with curly white hair. Who knew?
Me.
Yep. Who knew? But yeah, we should be able to hear him. He'll be around. But yeah, full crew back tonight, and we're gonna start up a brand new story. So if you're running around for the first one, no big deal. It's a good place to start, as it's just a new Monster of the Week episode. We've decided last time around that the goal of trying to make this into like one session per thing is probably not a good idea. So we're going to try to do it 2 sessions per. So this will be part 1 of 2 probably. That's the goal anyway. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll get it done really fast. But before we get started, why don't we go ahead and introduce the family, so everyone knows who everyone's playing. And we will start with the heard but not seen Chuck. Chuck, tell us about
That's me.
your character.
I'm Chuck. I'm playing Phil. Phil Theodore is the mundane. And older brother of Donna. And I am just the bright, warm, fuzzy sphere that this universe revolves around.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who was the one who blew up the kids on the dirt bike? Was that you, Chuck? Or was that Anton?
That
Somebody
was Anton. Anton that did that.
We don't talk about that. That did not make it into the newsletter.
Jeremy, did you watch the episodes? I was curious. Yeah. Okay. Well, then you heard when Anton blew up a dirt bike. 2 kids were trying to escape.
I love the just the sequence of constant, like, what was it, like 3 or 4 fails trying to do it.
It was just really bad rolls.
It was wonderful.
It was fantastic. Hey, but everything's fine. Well, speaking of Anton, Bert, why don't you tell us about Anton?
Oh, man. And Tony, Anton in the U.S., because, we're in the States now. That's what my ID says. I'm here. I'm the old man of the group. Not too old, though. Now my fashion sense might be a few decades, out of style. But I like my straw boater and my lycra and what is it? It's not nylon. What is the fabric?
Polyester.
Polyester. Yes, I like my polyester pants and dock shoes. It's just a thing. It's the thing.
Yeah.
And I record all of our escapades and put it out there on the BBSs.
Very nice.
Yeah.
They
There's
call
no
that
mention
evidence.
of any kind of dirt bike explosion. If it's not in Trenton,
None.
it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like the town was doing particularly well and anyone really had witnesses to that event. So you're all good. You're all good. It's just your words versus those kids. And I mean, the kids, no one's going to listen to them.
Technically a gumshoe, back in the old country, I might have worked for a police force. Here I'm a news hound. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's
Very
it.
nice. All right. Next up, triumphant return of Corbin Redding. Jeremy, tell us about Corbin.
Oh wait, that's fast. Corbin is the tall, lanky goth of the group. He's the hex. He casts really bizarre spells. He's got a couple of twin horn serpent tattoos down his arms that he burns things with. And I would have gladly burned those children to heal them.
Which is interesting because the other birding that they suffered from the explosion did not do that. So your fire
you
is
just
totally
have to
different.
burn all the way until you do a 360. Just
That
gotta
makes
burn
sense.
harder. Burn 2.
It's just like
burn harder.
it cycles around. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no, that's good thinking. That's good thinking. Next up, we've got Phil's sister. We've got Donna Theodore, who things. I think you got caught on fire at one point too. Speaking of being burned, I think Donna got caught on fire.
Yes. It was not healing. It's not.
No,
did not
there were no extra lives. No.
That
Well,
we were
tell us
talking
about
before
Donna.
stream that I forgot because she is the wronged. And one of the moves that she has for wronged is what doesn't kill me. So I'm supposed to get a +1 whenever I take harm. And I kind of forgot about that. And I was taking plenty of harm.
Listen, I don't want you to feel like you're gonna get shortchanged. So I will right off the bat have someone just come up and just kind of set your hair on fire or something, just so you take
Just
some.
flick me in the air for no good reason.
Someone will just bash you over the head with a giant strawberry milkshake, and everything will be fine.
Can I eat the strawberry milkshake and then get bashed over the head with the glass? Because that's the better order for that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll play it up. Anyhow,
Yeah. Okay.
anything else you want to tell us about Donna?
I got to level up and I took an extra tough, so she is even more badass than she was last time.
She was badass last time. She was. Question
I
mark?
mean, in the build, she's a badass. I'm not so sure in her actions.
Gotcha. And then finally, we've got Caleb Redding, brother. Your brother's finally back. Caleb, how you feeling, man?
I'm here. It's pretty cool. Corbin's back though. I'm gonna chill out for a bit. Just wait and see what happens. Kind of hungry though.
Yeah. It was a rough series of events for old Caleb as well, as it got pretty dicey for Caleb, especially at the at that like RV park. I think things kind of went pretty south.
Yeah,
But you did
Hurt yourself eating?
He did. He hurt himself eating dickweed. So
Yeah. Dickweed ain't good for the stomach.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, ever since that house, Corbin, things have been weird.
God, you were weird before then. Okay, Caleb.
No,
You've always been weird.
I know I've been weird.
Okay, glad that's been settled.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's great.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, wait, what were you?
Everyone agrees. All right. We ready to get started? I don't really feel like we gotta do a summary so much since it's a new episode. So let's just kind of start off on a new one. We're gonna say about a week or so has passed. You've been events in eastern New Mexico did not go. They ended in it was a sort of a mixed bag, good things, bad things, and so you kind of got out of Dodge a little bit before some stories broke. Traveled east a bit, and we're gonna pick up. We'll say maybe a week and a half, maybe 10 days or so have passed. We're gonna put you all in a place called Bentonville, Arkansas, and we're gonna say that you have been staying. It's really just sort of a passing through kind of situation. You have a lead on something down in maybe Georgia or so, and so you're kind of on your way there, and here you are staying in a place called the Barrow Lodge in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Our usual Waffle House isn't here.
We're gonna call it. We're gonna say that you're staying at a place called the Barrow Lodge. It's got a small kind of hometown diner that's attached to it called Hog's Heaven. Where there's all manner of sausage and bacon and various breakfast meats to your heart's content. And I'm going to say we're going to pick up with you all around a diner. You're around a booth. There's a handful of other folks. We're going to say it's a Saturday morning, so it's a decent crowd. It's mostly locals. There may be one or two other towners, but it definitely looks like most of the folks who are attending this diner, they kind of know each other. Some of the servers and the owner and stuff like that. You know that the diner is attached to the lodge, so it's like kind of like a similar business. And so there are some folks like yourselves coming over, some out of towners, just traveling through, whatever it might be. It's a decent town. It's not. It's not kind of completely run down. There's some decent neighborhoods here and there, but you guys are sitting around the dining area. You've got your whatever you ordered for breakfast, whatever it might have been, and you guys have been overhearing all sorts of chatter, as there's certainly some local gossip that's kind of starting to stir up a little bit. It's hard not to miss. It's hard, not to overhear. It's not like you're eavesdropping. It's so much like everyone's saying it. People coming by, even when you see the server, your waitress, comes by with your coffee and kind of fills up, your cups here and there. But you can tell she's kind of eager to get back to the counter to kind of get on with the gossip. But the local news store, it's kind of strange. A local security guard by the name of Red Waddle was found murdered about 2 days ago. He was found dead in a very brutal fashion. He was gutted. He was hung on a wall on a hook inside of an old factory, of an old pig factory, like pork factory. And there's basically been all this kind of chatter here and there. Your waitress wasn't even supposed to work today, but Red Waddle's older sister was supposed to, she kind of took her shift because his sister is in just this utter shock and everything. But you hear these folks left and right kind of talking about it here and there, and there's all this other little whispering going on. You hear something about who did it. There's a murder on the loose, and you hear a name kind of pop up more than once in a few different ways. You hear the name Clement. It's like a family name. And it's the name that's on the factory. It's a name of somebody they think might have killed the guy. There's all gossip running around. And as you're sitting there, I'm gonna say, Corbin, pick up your check, and you see on the back of the check in pencil, not in pencil, excuse me, in pen, and it's sort of red pen. And you knew that your waitress didn't have a red pen. You can see there's all these little strange occult symbols that have been drawn on the back of it. So I'm going to turn it over to you all with the gossip, with these symbols, with all these different folks going around. And I'll ask you, what do you all want to do?
A ticket from a world traveler. When you go to a new diner, you always order pie and coffee. Because if the pie and coffee's bad, everything is bad. If pie and coffee are good, and you happen to have a stroke or a heart attack, you've had pie and coffee.
You look down at your plate. You look down at your plate, and the plate has this big old piece of, I don't know, we want to say rhubarb pie or something, strawberry rhubarb pie or something like that. And it was delicious, Anton. Absolutely delicious. Big old cup of coffee. It's not these tiny little cups of coffee. It's a big old mug of coffee, nice and solid. They're not matching sets, but they're these big, hefty looking things. They've been around for decades. These mugs have been around for a while, but everything's tasted wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
It's safe now to order the bacon and eggs.
Yeah, we're way ahead of you. We all finished eating already. What are you just getting warmed up for the main course?
I'm ready to go.
The corned beef hash is good.
Corbin just has a half-eaten piece of toast and a cigarette. 5 cigarettes.
So, Jeff, one of the things that Anton always does when he finds himself in a diner like this, there's often a local board. People post things on the board. So I always check out the local board to see what's going on in the area. Lost dogs, lost kids.
Yeah. There are a handful of lost pets. There's no lost kids. You don't see any missing children. Nothing pops up. But you do, there is a little bulletin board and kind of the that middle area. It's like the foyer kind of. There's a cigarette machine. There's a couple places where people can sit if they're waiting, if it's particularly busy. And you can see that there's a bulletin board up there, has announcements here and there for various local activities that are happening and little jobs and stuff with little pull tabs at the bottom. Handful of missing recent animals within the past maybe week or so. But no missing kids, nothing like that.
Yeah, Anton, I'll take note of where the missing pets, what area of the town they went missing in, just in case it comes up later.
Okay, fair enough. We'll keep that information in the back. Okay.
Anton, can I borrow a page out of your notepad and maybe a pencil or a pen for just a little bit?
No, I keep spares. Here you go.
Thanks.
Hey, Corby, did she give you her number?
Is her little we have a crush?
Corby.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Corby.
I'm gonna try and do some work now. Okay, thank you. And basically Corbin's gonna take the notepad and start trying to recreate the symbols that he's seeing on the back of that, and try and do that. See if anything kind of comes to mind to him, like if anything seems to seem like it would be something that should be recited, or if in the drawing and the practice of it that kind of incites some sort of ritual. Just kind of seeing if anything pulls forward with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get up and head to the counter. And my sister over there, she forgot to order her strawberry milkshake. So can I go ahead and get one of those? And while I'm there, I want to ask the gossiping group, like, so what is this about a murder? And is the town safe? Like, what happened?
So you go up to the counter, you kind of lean past a group of people. You order, almost like you're at a bar. You order your milkshake for Donna. Your waitress recognizes you, like, oh yes, sure thing, sweetie, no problem. I'll have that for you out here in just one second. We got some fresh strawberries today. Oh, we got a whole bunch of them. I love Saturdays. Got the farmers markets and everything. Just wonderful.
Can we get maybe 3 or 4 of those on a plate on the side too?
You mean you want some extra strawberry? Oh, of course, sweetheart. Yeah. We can do that for you. Absolutely.
I'm going to slip her a $5 right as well.
Oh, she takes his
You're so amazing. So
big
amazing.
Spender. Well, that's so very kind of you. Your whole little group, just a bunch of strangers, just kind of waltzing on into town and you're just bringing a fresh air of sunshine on this very cloudy day. Metaphorically, of course.
Metaphorically, I overheard. Yeah, what happened?
Oh, well, it's just an absolute terrible tragedy. You see Red Waddle. He was a troubled man. He's a younger brother of a friend of mine who works here. Well, he was found deceased. And you hear somebody else like, he wasn't just deceased, he was butchered. Just absolutely just cut apart. And like, Henry, will you pop down? These folks are nice people from out of town. And plus, you're scaring the children over there. Look, no, we don't mind. We like hearing about it. And so everyone's kind of like, it just kind of cascades a bit. And eventually, like, well, what happened is up at the old Clement factory, someone found him. They just found him hanging there. He worked security because he was good for nothing. You could never really amount to much else. So it's just one of them kind of rental cop stuff. Kind of goes to this property and that property. Yeah. And he just didn't come home. And well, his sister, Teresa, one of my dear friends, well, she was kind of calling around, worrying about he ain't got no wife, he ain't got no children, he's got nothing like that. So really, his sister's all that he's got, And he was a rough young man, He didn't have he had friends. He peaked early. He's one of those types, He was athletically inclined. That kind of thing. Anyhow, they found him, and she leans forward, hanging on a hook inside that old factory. Now, that old factory's been shut down for 20 years. No one's gone in it. No one uses it. They just kind of send him out there every now and then to make sure there's no squatters out there, nothing like that.
Okay.
And it's just absolute tragedy. Absolute tragedy.
Well,
and to think, And then you hear like some kind of man down the block. Well, it's even stranger to think about. It's been 20 years since them murders there too. It's been 20 years. Just the other day, 20-year anniversary it was.
More murders at that factory?
Oh, that's just ancient history. We don't really like to talk about that. It's the whole reason it kind of closed. About 20 years ago, there was a fella who worked he worked at the factory by the name Sandy Oxford, you see. And well, him and his family, they were decent, respectable folk. I mean, his parents, they used to own the Barrow Lodge, and I guess this place too, now that I think about it. anyhow, there was some sort of disagreement. Maybe he lost his job over there or nothing, because he didn't really want to follow in the hospitality footsteps of his family, and he just really wanted to do something else, kind of strive. And so he went working for the Clements, you see. And well, everything just kind of went terrible. And well, I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but he had a bit of a mental break, you see. And well, he got all angry and ornery, and he took it out on some of his fellow employees. And there was an incident. Hey, killed like 20 of them. What are you talking about? He killed like 20, shut them into the meat grinder. Why are you pussyfooting on this? Dang it.
Well, that's an escalation right there.
And so she's like trying to like put this nice little
Yeah. Okay.
So tasty.
Well, that's okay.
What?
Well, hey. Well,
Yeah,
thank you much. Well,
it was a pork
strawberries.
factory. It
He's
used
talking
to
about the
used to be a
Yeah,
regional
it's
supplier.
a strawberry.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
great.
I
And it
better
went out
get
of
to that.
business after that. Oh, you better do
well,
that.
yeah, they
thank
kind
you
of
much.
they kind of shut it down. Like, got, bad publicity and all that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, how are they going to keep doing business when they can never guarantee what is or is not in the ground sausage?
you think, oh my, you don't think they, oh no.
No.
don't think
I'm
they-
just saying.
Fed us people.
No, they absolutely did
Yes.
not.
I would
They
know.
wouldn't have never done that, but they probably shut it down just because people would start talking. And you know how kids like to make up rumors. And anyway, well,
You hear this
I've
little
taken
kid
enough
down
of
like,
your time.
I heard he wore a really ugly pig face and he called himself Razorback. That's what you shut up, little Henry. You shut your mouth, little Henry. You're as bad as your father. Old Henry, you better shut your boy up. I'm so very sorry for that. They haven't learned manners at that age just yet. They haven't, and by that age, I mean old Henry. He's like 42, and he's an absolute horrible man. Horrible man.
Oh, well, anyway, you've been fantastic. Thank you much.
Absolutely. And so she kind of goes in the back, comes back a few minutes later, has your milkshake, your extra strawberries, all that kind of stuff. Corbin, did you want to do like investigate? You want to roll an investigate or something maybe to see if you can sort out what's going on this?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like actually like magic weirdness or if it's more of like an investigate thing, whatever works best.
Do you like investigate is like a kind of means like if you're trying to sort it out, suss it out, like I think investigate makes sense. That works for me.
Why not?
Okay. Okay. 7. Ask me a question.
Started
If there's-
sketching a picture of Razorback. Get distracted.
I'll tell you this. I'll just give you this. You can ask and answer a question if you want, or I can just kind of give you something. It's up to you. If there's,
I'll take what you want to give.
these symbols that you see definitely have demonic undertones to them or overtones. You're not entirely sure what they're doing or trying to say, but you see some familiar symbology.
I understand. Like these are people that haven't actually done the research like I have. So this is like what would happen if somebody just did the Cliff Notes stuff. Because I'm good at this. Whoever did this is crappy at this. But still, maybe good enough to be violent. Oh, Demon Razorback.
Okay.
The sketch improves.
Well, you do see that in the diner, there's not an inconsiderable amount of like Arkansas Razorback stuff here and there, folks with hats on and shirts on. Like, this is the country for it. So it's not uncommon. But you also notice as like you guys are talking and you're kind of looking at that corp and you see that little Henry fella start running down the aisle. Like he's like weaving in between these groups of people. He's got what looks like a couple pieces of bacon on his face. Like he's made his own little mask. He's like, I'm Razorback. I'm going to kill you all. Ah! And like old Henry is just kind of looking, drinking his coffee, not really caring one bit as kid's just running like an idiot. What else are y'all doing?
That is a good question. Is this strawberry milkshake a good milkshake?
Absolutely. It's a strawberry milkshake. Is there such a thing as a bad strawberry milkshake? I mean, there's degrees of good.
It's a degrees of strawberryness. Is it like a vanilla milkshake that's got like 2 little pieces of strawberry in it, or is it a well mixed together pink color?
It's pink color. It's got chunks of strawberry in it here and there as like a garnish. It's got a little bit of whipped cream at top and everything.
Ooh.
It is extremely decadent. You're probably gonna have to take a nap for about 7 hours after you finish this.
And I will be providing a very handsome tip then.
It's at that point that your waitress comes back and you're standing there and she's just like looking over at little Henry, just kind of shaking her head. And she's writing your checkup and she sees Corbin. You already have a check. It's like, darling, did I already give you the check? I don't think I got it right here. That's peculiar. I must have. Did I give that to the wrong person? Can I see that real fast there, sweetheart?
You set it down.
Did I?
It's got it has our items on it.
And you open it up and it just, all you see on the one side is just a list of bacon. It's just like orders and orders and orders of bacon. And there's like no coffees. There's no coffees. There's no pie. It's just a list of bacon after bacon after bacon. Well, this must be a misprint. We get misprints all the time. I'm so very sorry. Let me get you your real one right here. And she goes to kind of crumble that one up and kind of put it in her apron, kind of hands the new one over to, here you go, sweetheart.
Is there any kind of roll that I can do here just to see her reaction to that?
Or are you trying to read
like genuine confusion or yeah?
You're just trying to read her or kind of get a you can roll manipulate someone maybe, I guess, if you want, or you could just do read a bad situation.
Yeah. I'll do that even though my sharp is -1 because that seems like what it's supposed to be. So
sure.
We'll see how this roll goes.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 2d6 at a -1.
Go for it.
That is a 8. I got a lolly and a 7 because of the -1.
Okay, so and you roll. You get your question was like, what was her reaction? Like trying to get a sense of her reaction. No, she's genuinely confused. You think she did seem genuinely confused, and I would say there was nothing about her behavior that struck you as like dishonest. She almost seemed a little embarrassed at the fact that you guys got she gave you the wrong check more than anything. That's probably the only thing that you read from that, I would say.
Okay. Given that, then what I would want to do is meander around and see if I can notice anybody that seems to have a like red marker or a red pen. So if like there's another like wait staff that has that like in their little, like apron pocket or something like that.
Sure.
While Don is doing that, I want to get up and excuse myself to go to the restroom. And on the way there, I want to look to see if anyone actually ordered that much bacon.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So what about Anton or Caleb? Are the two of you up to anything right now?
Caleb's just kind of sitting there, and then is the little boy still running around yelling and stuff?
Eventually someone does like grab him, like it's like we're playing in like 1989. So very strongly grabs him and just drags him back. Bacon falls to the ground. Your waitress kind of goes over and starts cleaning it up a bit here and there, just kind of shaking her head. But yeah, like he's still in the area.
Yeah, no, if he was just still yelling and stuff, I would have like played along and pretended like to be one of his victims or something, but just to kind of like keep him distracted, just because I don't really know what to do.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I mean, if you want to, we could say that you sort of play dead. She's dragging him back, and you're laying on the ground and stuff like that. She just kind of looks at, Mister, I appreciate that you're trying to be all kind, but there's a lot of tragedy that's at the root of this, and I'm not sure if I know your heart's in the right place, but Red, he was he was not a very good man, but he is a dead man, and that is kind of sad. And all them folks that Sandy Oxford killed 20 years ago, I mean, I'm not sure if this is the kind of humor that we should, this is not the kind of humor we should sort of be instilling in this young fella. His father might not care, but some of us do. Is what I'm saying. Because his father probably ain't going to live past 50, and the rest of us are going to end up having to raise your damn son. That's what it is.
My brother means well. He's I'm just curious. I don't have the constitution to eat that kind of an order, but who do you know somebody that comes here that actually eats that much bacon?
Oh, that much bacon at once? Oh goodness, no, I don't think so. I know that Lonnie Redden, he eats quite a bit, but that fella, boy, he just loves his eggs too. Like he'll get extra, and he prefers sausage. You see him with just tons of sausage. Pork sausage, of course, is the only way to have it around these parts. However, this doesn't look like his kind of order, if you get my drift.
Lonnie who?
Lonnie Redden.
Well, he's obviously not related. His name begins with
No, he's not. He's not related at all, I don't think.
All right. Well, I apologize.
Oh, no, darling, there's no reason to apologize. You were just trying to have a little fun with the boy. I understand it completely.
Yeah. Hey, so Oxford.
Yeah.
They catch him, send him in prison?
Oh, well, they kind of caught him, but they didn't send him to prison. He, well, if you really want to know.
I do.
He put about 20 folks or so, I think, maybe even more, into the meat grinders and the Clement factory. And
let's move past that part.
Well, afterwards he said something about coming back from hell to finish what he started, and then he climbed into the grinder after them and met the same fate.
All right. So,
yeah,
if he was a man of his word, then that'd mean that he'd try to do it. Now we both
come back from hell, darling. This is Saturday, not Sunday, I know, but no, we demons ain't coming up from hell, and no Sandy Oxford's coming back to go killing folk. This is just some. Well, it's not like Red didn't have his enemies. He was such a bully and mean folk, and I don't know why anyone thought it was a good idea to make him a security guard anyway, just propping him up, and now he's just going to use that power to kind of, you know how it is. He tried multiple times to become a cop, but he's too dumb to become a cop, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't know too much about what people were thinking then, because I was barely alive at that point. Or wait, are you talking 20 years ago or just recent guy?
Oh, just recently. Red's the one who died recently.
The one, yeah, okay.
He was murdered by not Sandy Oxford, not some demon coming up or nothing like that. He was murdered by a very disturbed person who more than likely had a grudge. I mean, you don't kill a person the way that Red was killed unless you've got some sort of personal grudge against him. It was pretty violent.
Well, either that or you've got some sort of issues.
Well, there's that. That's true.
Or you're a demon come back from hell.
Don't go putting that in the heads of little Henry, okay? You all are just passing through, and once you're gone, I'm going to be the one who's going to have to be dealing with that boy and his stupid little stories every Saturday morning.
I wouldn't wish that on you, so no. I ain't going to tell him.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. And she kind of like pats you on the cheek, and then it's like your cheek is a little kind of cold. Like, oh, you sick, baby? You sick, darling? Want some chicken soup or something?
I have poor circulation.
Ah, I see. I understand. One of my husbands was like that, but he's dead now.
More exercise.
I hear you. I understand. Don't we all? Now, if you excuse me. And she kind of like waddles off. Meanwhile, the Theodores, you're specifically looking for a few things. So, Phil, you were looking for anybody who just has a stack of meat somewhere in here, like a ton and ton.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
Nothing like that. I mean, you see other big groups of people where there's plenty of bacon and sausage and stuff like that, but nothing, but they have other things. You see like pancakes, you see eggs, you see all of the spread, right? There's nothing that stands out. It's just like one person eating all this kind of stuff. Donna, you do notice that there is a woman who is doing what looks like a crossword puzzle. And she is sitting in a kind of it's a small table in the corner. There's she's probably like, you would peg her maybe in her late 30s, maybe something like that. And you see that there's another man with her who's kind of sitting across the table. He's kind of eating away. You can see he's got like this book on Sun Tzu on top of the table. He's got it open and he's just kind of reading it here and there. And he's like taking a bite of something, kind of reading, taking a bite. And they're not really talking at all. And she's just kind of doing a crossword puzzle, it looks like, and she's got a red pen.
Is what he is putting in his mouth bacon, perhaps?
It's a mix of a little bit of everything. It's just a normal breakfast.
Okay. All right. Just checking. So I will, I'm going to wander over and, so they're kind of off into the corner a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the place is pretty busy, but yeah, they do seem to have a little bit of a separation from everybody. Like they have like a prime position in the corner, like a little space to themselves. No other tables too close to them. She is dressed in very kind of professional attire. Looks like she's a businesswoman. He is dressed in what very much looks like loose clothing, almost like tracksuit style. And he looks like he may or may not have come from or is going to the gym.
Okay. So Donna is going to kind of go back over to our table real quick, and she's going to kind of tap, "Hey, Corby. So I think I found in the corner somebody with a red pen. So maybe she's the one that did the thing. Do you have like, I know you said that those were like basic little symbols. Do you have like, I can like give a note back to her with like better symbols or symbols that she might understand? I could just like sneak it. Maybe?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Do that.
So walk me through what are you doing? Like what's happening now?
So we're like, we got a note passed to us, and so we're looking to pass a note back. So
Okay.
I want to see if like Corbin can write up some symbols that would like.
Okay.
It's gonna be the
Okay.
equivalent of like Latin, or like roses are red, violets are blue.
Okay. Just some sort of like basic demonstration.
Meet
that you're
me
aware
outside
of
in 15
occult
minutes
stuff.
if you meant this for me.
Okay.
Some like.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
even rhyme at the end.
Okay. Let's just do like an act under pressure or something maybe.
Okay.
I can't really think of what would fit with that. We'll say that.
Okay.
Because you could get it colossally wrong. Okay.
And what were
Okay.
we using audience for? Audience stuff for again? Was that a reroll?
Plus
or?
one, I think.
one.
I think you can
Yeah, it
use
was
at
plus one.
most one per roll, plus one on
Yeah,
the roll. So it's
singular
basically-
plus ones.
yeah.
And we got a 7, so it's already into the.
Right. So we'll say
Okay.
this: you're able to scratch something off. I'm sure you have scratch paper or whatever it might be.
Anton loaned me some. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, he's got his detective, his detective notepad and everything. And Donna, you're able to you're going to deliver it sort of surreptitiously, just kind of slide it down. Okay.
Yes.
You get within like 2 steps of their table, and like without looking up, the man says like, "That's all right, darling. We are not yet done. You don't need to take the plates just yet. I still have a lot to do, lot to read, lot to eat. Got to get my carbs going. You understand what I'm saying? Got to get the energy, the fuel inside me. You're not our waitress.
No, I'm sorry. I am definitely not. I'm just, you know, had a wonderful milkshake here. Just, you know, getting, you know, the rest of my group's not ready to go yet. So just, you know, kind of pacing around a little bit, just, you know, getting some steps in, working it off. And so while she does that, she's going to try to kind of turn towards him and kind of have her back towards the woman so that she can just kind of try to drop it kind of like under the table on her side.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and do it. And so as you walk away, you hear like the shuffling of a newspaper, and like you like look over your shoulder, and she picks it up and everything, and she kind of looks at it kind of strangely, looks over at you, kind of shakes her head, kind of like confused. They exchange something really fast, and then you're back at your own table. Let's see, Anton, what are you up to? What do you want to do?
Probably happening concurrently to everyone else, but
Sure.
Since Anton is a fan of the paper medium, he wanted to look over that receipt, see if the handwriting was the same for every entry, if the pen strokes were the same, if the color of the ink was the same.
So definitely the color ink is different. The color of ink is different because like the waitress who wrote your stuff, definitely she's just using a black pen, nothing special. This pen that the receipt that Corbin was looking at with the sort of demonic type symbols and such, that was red. When you look at the writing, when you're comparing your actual check to this fake check before she takes it back, you can tell that it's different writing. She didn't write this for sure. The writing, I would say, looks sort of like shaky in a bit in a way, whereas like hers are like these swift sort of curly strokes, things like that. So it doesn't look the same.
Big question: is this one of those tear off receipts that the green and white pads that they write?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're
That's
numbered.
exactly what it is.
They're numbered. Are they sequential?
Yeah. So you look at the number for yours. You look at and then you sort of memorize the number. They are not. No.
Okay. All right.
In fact, I would say the one that you have, it has basically a set number of zeros at the start, and then it says a 1970 at the end. And then I would say you're smart enough, Anton, that you can kind of piece it together that it sort of looks like a date, as you see like a couple of zeros, and you see like almost looks like an October, like a 10. Like a 1030/1970 maybe, and then a bunch of zeros to the left of all that.
Sure. Yeah, I just take note of that.
Yep. Okay. Let's check back in with Phil then. Phil, you were going to go to the bathroom and you were looking for someone who might have had like a bunch load of meat, and you didn't see anything.
Right.
What would you want to do now?
I'm not sure. I would probably head back to the table, reconnect. Beyond that, I think it's a little out of hands investigating weird mystical stuff and Donna delivering secret notes. And yeah.
Okay.
Hanging loose.
Okay. Fair enough. Does anybody else have anything that they're looking to do within the diner as you have eaten, you're taking up a table, a booth during a breakfast rush? Is there something else that you are looking to do, talk to, anything like that?
I think Donna's delivered a note, so I think she's ready to go outside and see if it turns into a conversation.
Okay. So you all, do you just head outside? Okay, you head outside, linger around your vehicles. A few minutes later, it's kind of an awkward, like, oh, I guess nothing came of this. And you hear the bell ring over the doors. A couple folks leave. Gossip continuing to go. A couple of you might even overhear, like, you know who I think it was? I think it was that Cyril Clement. He never liked that red wallet at all. I heard he used to get picked on all the time by him. That's got to be who it is right there. That's where I'm putting my money on it. And you hear, like, that boy. He ain't. He is a wallflower. He ain't gonna hurt nobody. What's wrong with you? He weighs like 110 pounds too. There ain't no way that little boy is lifting up that big old hunk of whatever the hell Red Waddle let himself become. Boy, he is just so disappointed. And then they kind of like walk off. And as they walk off, you see that woman business suit. You don't see the man, but you just see the woman in the business suit wander up to you, Donna. And she looks you straight in the eye. She kind of holds up the note. Did you leave this for me, I presume?
That would be a correct assumption.
Well, appears you want to be out here to talk to me about something. And I'm here. Now, I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain yourselves, what it is you want from me and my family, but we are currently suffering a very difficult time. So, be out with it quick. Who are you and what do you want?
Well, I was actually thinking that I was responding to you because we had got a note with a red pen. So I was responding to you. So are you looking to communicate something to us?
Ma'am, I don't know who any of you are. I've never seen you before in my life. I have no business with you.
Name's Caleb.
She looks over to you. Pleasure to meet you, Caleb. I'm sure.
I know.
But if you'll, as I said, pleasure to meet you, Caleb. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business to attend to. And she's kind of, where's that idiot brother of mine? And she like looks back.
I'm sorry. Are you a member of the Waddle family?
No, I am not a member. And she looks insulted. I am not a member of the Waddle family.
I'm so sorry. You said that you were, I misunderstood what you were referring to.
I'm not to presume you do not know who I am.
No. I do not know who you are, ma'am.
Sophia Clement, heiress to the Clement family fortune.
Oh, well, it is nice to meet you. I was unaware of your status in this area.
You were unaware. You're unaware that my youngest brother is currently missing, and some of these fools within this diner suspect my little brother of killing their big oaf of a man, ex-quarterback, whatever he was in high school. And you're unaware that these very symbols that you've drawn here on this little sheet of paper just happen to be found next to the body of Red Waddle at the crime scene in my family's factory that's been closed down for 20 years. You just happen to do this. You don't have any other reasons that you might have sent me this little message here.
No.
Yeah, that's about the right of it. That's just what was on the check that got dropped off for me with an order for about 30 pounds of bacon. Which didn't make much sense.
Yeah, 30 pounds. You ordered 30 pounds of bacon?
Okay, look at me. I did not order 30 pounds of bacon.
And she is kind of taking stock of you. Who are you people?
My name's Phil.
Pleasure to meet you, Phil. My name is Sophia Clement.
Do you have anything of your brother on you at the moment? Like anything that belongs to him?
On me at the moment. I do not make it a habit of carrying my brother's things. He is a grown man. I do not.
Is there anything he would normally carry with him that would be special to him? That he would almost never leave behind?
Well, he is a bit of a poet and carries his journal around with him. But I have to tell you something, Mr. As she kind of leans in.
Corbin?
Mr. Corbin, yes. I haven't seen my brother in 2 days, just before the death of Mr. Red Waddle. Now, there are some folk, and all, thankfully, it's no folk with any amount of leverage or power within this town who seem to think my brother might have been involved in this murder. So, as you might expect...
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Phil?
With that information, I'm worried that he's involved too, just in the wrong way. What if he's in danger?
I beg your
All I
pardon.
know is I need to go to the bathroom now.
Your brother, what if he's in danger too?
In danger from
Whatever happened to Red?
what happened to Red is that Red, for the better part of his miserable life, was a very giant and cruel asshole of a man. And he made some terrible wagers and bets on a variety of sports games and such. I imagine some of his chickens came home to roost. I don't mean to mix
Well,
the animal metaphors.
I get that too. I do, and I understand. It's got to be tough for you. I really feel for you. It's got to be rough having all this additional limelight on your family. But I'm just saying, usually there's no coincidence when someone is been hung from a hook. It very well could be that maybe your brother accidentally a bystander, no witnesses, and
Well,
you've got, maybe we could help find him.
and why is it that you all would, just as good Samaritans, wish to find my brother?
Well, I mean,
We're good Samaritans.
don't let him fool you. He's a nice guy. He probably would do it for free, but I mean, we're not exactly rich ourselves, and if you want something more believable than just the kindness of our hearts, then there might be a reward.
So you see suddenly things kind of dawn on her and she kind of nods her head and says, I see. You all are looking for a paycheck. Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, like, we're not talking bank breaking stuff, but we are good at finding people.
Are you now? Is that what you do for a living? Are you all professional people finders?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Anton is a PI.
She looks over at Anton. Well, now that is interesting.
Officially licensed in most states.
He says convincingly.
Is Arkansas one of those states?
It is not. But the states
Are you looking-
remain.
Are you looking for results or are you worried about technicalities?
I'll tell you what. Somebody amongst the group, go ahead and take the lead on a manipulate someone roll. And whoever doesn't take the lead, who has been contributing to this conversation, so I think everybody but Corbin can roll a help out if they want. So who wants to take the lead on trying to manipulate her into hiring you?
I can do. I'm pretty decent at charm.
Okay.
You are
and
charming.
the
Like to
rest
roll
of
a help
you,
out.
yeah, the rest of you who are there and contributing something can roll a help out to see if you can give a bonus to the roll. And let's see how that goes.
We all need to do
That
better.
is cool.
Okay, so you get
Partial.
a +1 from Anton, but Anton does expose himself to trouble or danger.
Oh my gosh. I rolled 2 1s.
Okay.
Oh,
Dear God.
those
Ooh.
strawberries had worms.
I'll say this. Well, actually, Phil, go ahead and roll it first. Go ahead and give the roll with the +1 from Anton. Don't forget we have audience dice if you want to use it.
An audience die in there too. I don't know how to add that manually, so be a
there we go.
13.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so, oh my goodness. So not only do they do what you want right now, which is hire you to find her younger brother,
Nice.
but they will become your ally for the rest of the mystery. And if you do enough for them, she could become your ally for the rest of, basically permanently. Okay, which is, a rich heiress.
She's got.
Yeah.
Not a
Go for
bad
that.
person to have in
Everyone's
your back
friend.
pocket. Yeah, okay. So she does start to think, she's like, that is kind of interesting. It would be sort of prudent to have perhaps some outsiders without the the baggage that sometimes the Clement family carries looking into this. Huh. And you are professional, at least elsewhere. Then she turns over towards Anton at this point. However, Mr. Anton, if you all do something that would embarrass the family, that would shed negative light on my father, my mother, or just the Clement name, I can assure you that not only will you no longer be licensed in any state, well, you might find yourself on the wrong side of the bars, for we do have a significant amount of donations to the penal system within Arkansas.
It wouldn't be the first time, ma'am. That we will do our utmost, and we will, of course, rename any mention of your family if this is ever documented in some source elsewhere.
Absolutely. We have no intention of. We just want to make sure no one else can get her.
And so you see she reaches into her bag and and you hear like a keychain. This is, she hands this over to you like a ring, like an old fashioned like ring of keys. This will, when you are able, if you would like to access the site of the factory, the local law enforcement has deemed it a crime scene, but I would imagine folks of your skills shouldn't find that too difficult to circumvent, especially when here are keys that should get you past any of the padlocks or any of the other doors. I will say, though, be careful not to let on to the law enforcement you are trespassing. And should any of them catch you, I suppose I would have to not remind you that you stole those keys from me, and I will immediately turn you in.
We found these on the side of the road. We'll never mention your involvement at all.
She pulls out a card. She hands it over to you, Phil. It's got her name on it. It's got some sort of charitable organization underneath it. It's got her contact information. And on the back, she writes the address. When you have something to report, come to the family house. I'm sure my mother and father would like to hear this as well. Where is that idiot brother of mine? So we're going to cut to the bathroom where Corbin, you walk into the bathroom and you can see inside the bathroom, there is a man who has on kind of loose clothing. He's got slick back hair, like 1980s Wall Street kind of slick back hair, but he's got loose kind of workout clothing. And when you push open the door, you can see he's kind of going through these like martial arts motions, like in front of the mirror and just kind of staring at himself. And all these motions left and right. And the door opens. He doesn't really acknowledge you as you walk in. It's the same person that was sitting next to the woman as you push into the bathroom, Corbin. What would you like to do, buddy?
I just kind of like look at him, let him be doing his thing, and I'll be lighting my candles so I can start dripping red wax all around the toilet bowl.
Okay.
Like I'm just gonna pretend like what he's doing isn't weird, so long as he doesn't think what I'm doing is weird.
Okay. Are you closing the stall or are you doing this in full vision?
I'm watching him because it's just fascinating.
And so you just see him like kind of squat and he's doing, it's basically like Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation, kind of going through his things here and there. And then every now and then you hear him just sort of whisper either to, you think maybe at first it was to you, but then you realize it's not to you, it's to himself. And he's just like, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. And he's just kind of moving back and forth. And he turns around, and he looks at you, just kind of nods, and then he kind of gives you a little bit of a bow. May your spiritual journey lead to enlightenment. And then he starts backing out, turns around, and gets ready to leave the bathroom.
I love this guy.
I feel so much more normal now. I'm doing my little ritual over a toilet bowl. That guy made me feel so normal.
Can we invite him to the team? Like, oh my god!
Hey, maybe.
But that's good. Like he gave that little mantra, which is good because I want to get myself in the mindset of like thinking to somebody like thinking of poetry as I try and in the red wax and stuff around the toilet bowl. I'll do the little symbols that I saw from the thing. I'll also visualize the young man's name along with the, trying to visualize not just him, but also like a little journal full of poetry. And to kind of help tune myself into the idea of poetry, I'll think of that guy's mantra and just try and do my best to think of this poor young man and where he might be. And then I'll flush the toilet and stare into the swirling water to try and do my divination road.
Okay, roll your divination. God, I love the ritual so much. It is an odorous bathroom, as it is a Saturday breakfast rush in Arkansas. There's a lot of pork being eaten. Oh, goodness.
Oh, God.
Oh, goodness.
Man, I'm a partial success machine tonight.
Okay. So what is it you're looking to accomplish? Let's say, like, what are you looking to get out of this?
Trying to get a vibe for where that kid is, the Clement brother.
Okay.
Like, whether it's a hint of because between him, the poetry books, whether it's something between the two of them.
You are sitting there. You're kind of going through this process. The door closes. It gets very, very quiet. You start going through your normal process. You hear the sudden interruption of silence as the toilet bowl swirls and swirls and swirls. There's nobody else in here that you can tell. There's a handful of stalls, handful of urinals, etc. And as you're watching it, like the water just continues to swirl and gets kind of dark and sort of discolored and tainted. And as you're like as you're like leaning in and looking for a sign, you're suddenly startled as the sound of this horrifically squealing, terrified pig comes from the stall to the next, right over next to you. Just screeching and screeching and screeching.
You do the thing where I like kind of peek up and over.
You peek up and over and you look down and you can see sitting on the toilet of the stall, there is a very large pig. A little bit discolored here and there. You can see it's kind of covered in a little bit of mud, kind of patchwork here and there. And it is, it's fairly large, but it's sitting in a manner not unlike a person would sit on a toilet. And as you lean down, as you kind of look over, its head turns up towards you and looks at you. And its eyes have like this sort of strange, sort of humanistic quality to it. And as it's kind of looking at you, and like there's this great deal of empathy in its eyes as you're just kind of looking at it, and it's staring at you, its mouth opens, and like echoing out of that mouth is this horrific, painful screech that shoots out this horrific smell, like almost like sulfuric in its odor that pushes you back like a gust of wind, and you go falling back down into your stall.
I'll recoup myself. Take just a moment to peek back up and over. Is it gone?
It is gone. It is empty completely.
We had basically do the equivalent of I can normally produce like big gouts of fire. I'll just do like a little small burst, the equivalent of like lighting a match in a sticky bathroom.
Okay. And you notice that lighted match, it's just a little bit more illuminated than you expected. It almost kind of singes your eyebrows as it comes out.
Okay.
So as Corbin settles himself, the rest of you who are out front, you've been lingering for a bit with Sophia. We could say that she's been giving you maybe basic background on her brother or this or that, or just basic stuff about the town. The door opens and you see coming out is a man. Donna, you've seen him before. I've described him a couple times already. He is dressed in very fine, very high-end, like warm-up gear, slicked back hair. He has tucked underneath his armpit, he has a heavy book on Sun Tzu, and he comes out, and you can hear Sophia, her voice. It's about time, Zachary. How long were you? You know what? Never mind. Let us go. And he kind of walks past you all, and he's just like, "Namaste." Nods here and there, and goes to the other side of the vehicle. She gets in on the driver's side, and she says to you all, "I expect updates every day. Please reach out to me sometime later this evening and apprise me of whatever progress you have made. Thank you."
Thank you.
Guys, what'd that guy say? I'm gonna stay if he left.
It's fine. It's fine.
He said I'm gonna stay.
It was
buddy.
something different.
Huh?
Yeah, it's namaste. It's not I'm gonna stay. It's a one of them yoga things with like the neon tights and the weird little beds that are too small for him.
Okay.
Weird.
So the Clements, Sophia and Zachary, she probably explained to you why we were dealing with Corbin. She's got two brothers. She's the middle child. She's got an older brother, Zachary, who you've now met, and a younger brother, Cyril, who is missing and is the one that she's hired you now to locate. Her parents are still alive, Archie and Penelope, and she has invited you to the Clement mansion to apprise the family of whatever progress you make into locating young Cyril. Now, Cyril is, when I say young, he's not a child. He's in his 20s. He was like basically a high school mate of the dead man. So Red Waddle. Not the same age, but Redwater was a bit of a bully. That is information she clearly shares with you, since everyone's already talked about that here and there. But they would both be in their like late 20s or so, whereas she's kind of in her mid 30s, and then Zachary is like in his late 30s or so, kind of in the like that's sort of the spread of the ages here. So we'll say they drive away, and I will turn to you all. What do you guys like to do? Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I really think that the factory is calling to us.
Yeah.
But it's also a crime scene, so that may be an evening kind of thing.
Agreed. Yes, brother.
I was going to say, I did learn that there was like a bunch of murder 20 years ago in that factory. Something that may be in newspapers at the time. The library, check out the newspaper record art things, may be worthwhile.
You're just so smart. I was just going to say we should go either to the library or the local news, whichever one might be open on a Saturday that we could look at the archives.
Yeah, I know we're not like mercenaries, whatnot, but I thought it'd be less suspicious than us just doing it out of goodness of our hearts.
No,
The
great idea.
goodness
Anytime
of your heart is never
we can,
a place to start.
and we would never have gas money if it were for that, Phil. So, Caleb, good thinking.
That's why I'm not in charge of the finances.
All right, cool. Hey, Corbin,
Let's
I
go
did
to the
something
library.
good.
I believe there was a pig on the toilet, and it was sitting there and it was talking to me, but it wasn't talking. Like I think somebody took the Clement kid, and they're like, maybe I don't think they turned him into a pig. They probably didn't actually turn him into a pig. That's stupid. But maybe somebody's treating him like a pig, like holding him hostage and treating him like the things that their factory normally takes care of. I'm sorry, I just had a really weird experience in the bathroom.
Dude.
Sorry. It's probably all the burgers and pork.
Yeah, I lit a match in there and it nearly took my hair off.
Was it
Well,
a
that's
cute little
unfortunate.
pig, or was like it like a pig?
No, it was just scary.
Oh, that's too bad. Piglets are
Did
so
the
cute.
pig have a tag on its ear?
No, it didn't have anything like that.
Oh,
No. he was just
Farm pig,
sitting on the
then.
toilet like a person. Like I did my little ritual to see if I could figure out where Cyril was. And like I was trying to hone in on him, like with some what his sister had talked about. And then lo and behold, the freaking stall next to me, like there was, yeah, it's just weird, man.
Well, I think that's a sure sign that we need to visit a farm or plant.
Farm.
Anywhere with pigs. But
Yeah.
I do think in the daylight, maybe we go where the old newsprints are.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
if
And
Bruce
then at
never
night.
sleeps. Surely they'll be open on a Saturday. But
I would think so too. Small town.
A small town like the library is going to be used in like kid events. The parents that are still hungover from Friday night send their kids off to the library to get stories to them by high schoolers. So
Yes, we know that very well, don't we, Phil?
we sure do.
Okay. So
Well,
I'm
Let's
hearing.
make like a
Horror stories
banana
to
and
kids.
split.
So some of you want to go to a library, and some of you want to go somewhere else. Where's the other place we want to go? We'll say 2 groups. What do we want to do?
Were you guys a pig farm? Or you
I'll
should
go
never
where
trust
you tell
a
me to,
pig
man.
farm.
Donna and Phil are definitely going to the library. It's a question of
We're
if
going to
people
the
want to go to the
library.
newspaper or the pig farm.
well, Corbin, I think that's a clear vision. I think we should go to the pig farm.
Yeah.
Here, I'll root around the back of our van, come out with some clipboards and a hard hat. I'll
Okay.
get us in.
All right. So you guys go back into your cars. You split up.
Hey, who am I
Corbin,
going with?
Anton going one direction. Phil, Donna going another. Caleb is going to join one of them in a second. Corbin, you open the door to sit down, and as you open the door, you see right where you're about to sit, this pig, the same pig you saw sitting on top of the stall in the bathroom, turns and looks at you, screams. You get that same like gust. You kind of fall back in shock a bit, and when you look back up, it's gone. The rest of you don't see it, don't hear anything. All you do is see Corbin just fall and stumble and onto the ground.
It's I called shotgun. Stupid pig.
Boys got syrup in them.
You all right, buddy?
I think you would love to see the pig farm. And honestly, something's weird. I feel really off.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's what happens when you don't share your weed.
I don't smoke weed. I don't even eat meat.
Yeah, man. Who smokes weed?
No one smokes weed around here.
Oh.
Okay.
Start
So-
that devil's lettuce or let you go.
So you split up. We got Anton and the Reddings are headed out to. You'll get a name. You asked about a plant. There isn't one. The Clement factory used to be like sort of the centerpiece. It shut down, and from now on, like there's nothing within this particular town, plant factory, none of that. All of the local farms that have any kind of there's one particular pig farm that you get the name of, the McKinney farm, and so you have that. But they all kind of have to ship out to a neighboring town whenever they're selling. But never has a replacement kind of propped up within the sort of the confines of this particular town. And so the 3 of you start driving out. It's on the outskirts of town, obviously, so it's going to take you a little longer to get there. Meanwhile, the Theodores, you're heading over to the library. That's just down the street, actually, just a couple blocks away. You can actually walk there. You're in this little downtown section of Bentonville. And it is Saturday, so you're not wrong in that there are a handful of like different events and things going on. But at the same time, like it's late morning, maybe right around lunchtime. You probably all had a late start. You're getting ready to leave town. You weren't even planning to stay here that long. But we'll say the 2 of you make it to the library. Quite a few folks here, but mostly it's like a kid thing going on. You can see like there's some sort of special kind of literacy fair going on, and you see like there's stuff out in the parking lot. There's people kind of doing little fairs and like face painting and stuff like that. And then they go back inside and they read around here and there. So it's like this little kind of jamboree thing going on. What do you 2 want to do?
Do they have a cakewalk?
Of course they have a cakewalk. What kind of question is that?
I get distracted. I'm going to go win us a cake.
Okay, so Phil decides to forget the research, and he's going to go enter into a cakewalk against a bunch of kids ages 12 and under. Donna, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Donna's not particularly surprised by this. Donna says, good luck, Phil. Hope you win.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll share it with you.
All right.
Better.
So we'll say out in the parking lot, we'll say that old Phil, you're sitting out here. There's a group of people. There's chatter, just like the diner. You're hearing it left and right. You also notice that there's a handful of local law enforcement that seem to be here as well. You are given some strange looks when you show up and try to get into this child cakewalk competition, but everything's sort of smooth though. They're with wonderful Southern charm and hospitality, and so they kind of pull you aside. But I'll say you hear, because you're out here and there are a handful of cops around, you do actually overhear some more strange things kind of going on. You hear more of the same. There's all sorts of stuff about the Clements. There's stuff about Red Waddle. There's people who suspect it. You don't get a sense that the cops think Cyril did anything, and they seem to be more kind of in line with your thinking that maybe something bad happened to him, or maybe he paid somebody to do something. That seems to be the way to go about doing it. But I'll tell you this, one thing you do hear, Phil, is that there is something kind of strange. You can tell that something happened at the local police station. Something with evidence lockup. And you hear it as whoever was on duty watching evidence lockup is suspended because of an old piece of evidence went missing. Same piece of evidence that was used. Apparently it's a mask of some kind of pig mask that was used in the murders at the Clement factory about 20 years ago, and it just went missing. Now, the person who got suspended swears they didn't fall asleep, nothing like that. And so you definitely hear there's conversation going on about this missing mask.
Okay. I'll definitely take mental note, seeing as I'm a stranger in town participating in a cakewalk. I don't want to draw any additional attention, so just note, and I'll confer that with the group later.
Okay. We'll cut to Donna on the inside then. Donna, what is Donna doing inside this library?
So Donna is looking for kind of the old archive for newspapers, sorry. So she's basically going back 20 years to the murders that happened before and just kind of trying to read up on some of the details of what happened with those murders, the, op-eds and whatnot, kind of around that time frame.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and investigate a mystery on this one? As research can take a little time, it's easy to miss some things here and there. So why don't we do a roll on this one as you start going through these old newspapers and such, and go from there.
I'm going to take an audience for this one because I want to make sure that I'm doing all right.
Yeah. How'd you
Goodness. Do? Not great. So Sharp is a investigate a mystery. I shouldn't be the one doing this. Sharp is a -1. So that is a 3, a 2, and then a 1 from the audience, which is then a -1. So that's a 6.
Okay. The most of the the newspapers are on file. You kind of go through some of them here and there. There's not a lot of librarians that are willing to help you as there's so much going on, and so maybe you're just missing some things here and there. I will say there is one thing that you pick up on though, and that when you're looking at the story of Sandy Oxford, the Oxford family apparently did used to own the Barrow Lodge in Hog's Heaven, the diner that you all ate this morning. That's true. After the travesty in 1970, things went terrible for them. And it went terrible for the Clement family too. Things kind of broke apart. These were two very powerful families in the area. Oxford family eventually moved away. Those that survived. But the thing that you didn't hear about before is that you notice some of the headlines use a term. They kind of gave him a term. Is apparently Sandy kind of started to lose his mind a bit towards the end, and he called himself not Sandy, not Oxford, but Razorback. Like that was sort of it. And you even see a photograph of, well, not I would say it's a photograph of like a sketch of what Sandy Oxford looked like, and he was kind of wearing his factory gear and stuff like that, and he's got like this, they got this this sort of pig mask like over half of his face here and there, and then it just says artist rendition of Razorback Oxford. Okay, so that's the two of you. We'll kick on over then to the Reddings and Bankowski and Anton. Three of you drive. You eventually get just a little outside of town. But you do find the McKinney farm. So what's your strategy here? How are you? What are you doing, and how are you going about doing it?
Okay, I want to use a combination of a couple of things that I've got.
Okay.
So under my moves, I have let's see, where is it? The Jessica Jones entry where I double talk someone to get in. So we're going to be coming in from basically a government meat inspector surprise thing. And to make it legit, I'm going to use one of my contacts, which one of my contacts is an auditor. And perhaps he has an extension with the federal government.
What's the auditor's name?
Well,
give us a name.
He's Makowski.
Okay. All right.
Old family friend. I've also got organized crime contacts, by the way, just so you know.
Okay. So you all drive up and you see like kind of dirt back roads here, but you do actually see kind of a stall set up where there are apparently a handful of like local farmers in the area that have kind of pitched in, and there's like this little kind of like a farmer's market kind of going on. And you can see that there is a big sign that this is the McKinney, like the McKinney farm. That's where it's being held. On the corner of it, there's a handful of folks, and you're very easily, you can very easily get pointed to the McKinneys. Now, specifically, you're given the name Randall McKinney, and you can see a young man, maybe late 20s, early 30s at most. He's rough and tumble type. He seems to be the one that's kind of sitting outside of like their little stall, selling, basically slabs of meat and stuff and jerky and things like that to people. There's not a whole lot out there, but he's got these big old coolers and things nearby. But that's who it is that you all kind of walk up to. And he's got a very mean looking face. Like his face is just in this constant state of scrunch. Like he just looks really, really angry and he doesn't want to be here. And that's who you walk up to and talk to, Anton. So what does it
Anton's
sound
got
like?
A clipboard under one arm. Anton keeps various clothing around. So he's got like a little like field jacket. Hard hat walks up. Hi, I think we're in the right farm here. Hey, this is a surprise inspection by the FDA. Give him a card that's got McCloskey's number on it. You'll confirm here that this is indeed a surprise inspection, and as you can see, we also dress plain clothes to make that very obvious that this is a surprise inspection that you should know nothing about. And it's, I'll be honest, somebody at a diner in town said there was something funky going on with your pork, and you know how it is. Probably that person just really has it out for you, but we got to dot the I's, cross the T's. We like to avoid litigation here with the federal government. So if you don't mind.
He's like looking at the car, funky pork. Roll your Jessica Jones. So you're doing double talk. So it's sounds great. So double talk. So roll's charm.
Yep. It's a Do I get the +1 for giving him McCloskey's number?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
As he's looking at the card. Very confused.
So that's a 10 with McCloskey's number.
So you get to pick 3. You can leave. So the choices are you don't leave any trace of what you search. So if you start searching the farm, there's no search behind. You can find what you wanted. You can find something else that's important. You don't piss anyone off, or you aren't recognized. So what 3 would you pick there, Anton?
Okay. Well, first of all, we don't want to piss anyone off so that we're not memorable. I'm not being recognized is a very good thing. I don't care about leaving any trace, but we definitely find what we wanted.
Okay. And what is it you wanted?
Well, we want proof of the supernatural conjoined with pork.
That's a combo right there.
It
Oh, God.
could just be they've got
That's
phenomenally good pork. I mean, supernaturally good pork. I don't know.
That
Fail
honey
proof
ham
lamb.
is supernaturally good.
Okay. So it's a little back and forth. It's not like you could tell like the face might be more that's just his face. He might not necessarily be an angry man, but he looks angry. He looks very confused. And he goes, I don't want to make an enemy of the FDA or Inspector Mikowski. So if y'all need to search the farm, I suppose you can go ahead and try not to cause any distress to the animals if you don't mind. I can escort you if you want, but
Just point things out. I mean, really, we're supposed to just have a free hand at this because we wouldn't want you to skew any evidence that might be around. This is perfectly normal. We don't expect to find anything. We just complaints are complaints. We gotta follow up with them.
Yeah, I understand. It's definitely a tough business, and you don't want any frauds and charlatans. You don't want people getting sick, so you got a job to do. You do your job.
Well, thank you, good sir.
I'd offer you jerky and a nice glass of tea, but I don't want to be confused with trying to bribe an official. So
Well, that's very good. We can't accept gifts after all.
You're just going to have to pay for it then.
On the way out. Oh, your name again?
Affirmative.
We got to make this all
Yeah.
official and everything,
The name is Randall McKinney. This is my family's
Randall McKinney.
farm. Yeah.
Very good. I'm going to
Yes,
put you
sir.
down as being very helpful to the FDA.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And Mr. He's confused like
McCloskey.
Mr. Mikowski. Okay. Well, if there's anything you need, don't hesitate to come back out, and I'd be happy to lend a hand.
We'll take you up on that iced tea and jerky on the way out. Thank you, good sir.
Mm. And we'll say that the two of you, you go wandering about, inspecting, going in various buildings, various sties, etc. I'll tell you a couple things you notice, Corbin, is that the pigs here, they're not the same kind of pigs that you saw. Different breed entirely, like not even close. I don't know the names off the top of my head, but they are definitely different. These are much smaller, first off, lighter skinned. They definitely seem less ornery, and their eyes don't have that same weird kind of human and sort of sadness in them. They just look like pig eyes. And all of the animals that you see, and and while the majority of animals on this farm are pigs, there are a handful of others here and there. It's not like it's just exclusively that. There's a handful of folks that you meet. It's like children, young children, cousins and stuff. They all kind of work the farm. There's a big old farmhouse and such. And no one really gets in the way of you doing any kind of searching. And everything's like, if you were actual inspectors, you'd be like, yeah, this is a really good place. It's on the up and up. No issues, nothing strangeness, like no strange things at all. But then, as you're getting ready to leave with a touch of disappointment, you look off a ways, and you can see maybe about 100 yards off and away from the farmer's market, away from the farmhouse, maybe even further than that. You just see there's just like this circling bit of birds kind of up in the air that just usually is a telltale sign of something's up. You start wandering over, I assume. And from a distance, you can see, you keep a little bit of distance. You see kind of a sort of a flat, kind of muddy ground. You see that there's a lake that seems to connect to this one side of the farm. And you can just see in this muddy ground, there are maybe 4 or 5 different pigs. And Corbin, these look like the ones that you saw. Big, kind of brown and mottled a bit. And they're half covered in mud, like up to their bellies and such. And they are going to town on something. And you can see that the birds are still kind of flying around here and there, but they're just kind of rooting around in the mud.
Okay, these ones, those ones over there, those weren't what I saw, but this one, these guys, these are the ones, like the one that was in the bathroom and the one that was in your car. That's the pig.
I'll take out my camera and take in some pictures.
Absolutely, yeah, no problem. Okay. Anything else you guys want to do?
I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out what they're eating. Like I may even jump in there with them if I gotta.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna get up close, then I assume, right? Do me a favor. If you're gonna get up there, possibly jumping in there with him, give me an act under pressure. How about that?
Right. Yeah, let's do that. Well, we know how good I am at that. I got a 7.
Okay, that's still pretty good. 7, act under pressure. Okay, you're getting very, very close, and you can see that there's something of decent size in the mud, and you kind of get up closer and closer, and at some point you slip. It's extremely muddy, extremely slippery. It's probably rained this morning, and it's just this awful place. And again, there's a lake like kind of extended, so it's just like this marshy terrain, and you slip and fall. And as you do, and I'll say the two of you can also see the same pigs. It's not just Corbin seeing them this time. You can see them all. And when you slip and fall, the pigs stop what they're doing. They look up. They start squealing like crazy, and they bolt. Like you see them just completely bolt in like different directions. And one of them is like running off. Like a couple of them are running off one side, kind of around the lake, and others are kind of running in a different direction. You just see them start to bolt away.
I thought I was dinner.
And they were very, very big. Like they were. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put a number on it, but they would probably be as heavy, if not heavier than that's how big these things are. And they just start running away, trotting like you can see the mud just kind of getting thrown up. They fall, get up, and they scramble. And then you see there in the mud in the ground, yeah, that looks like a leg. And that looks like an arm. And that looks like a body. So Caleb, what's the thing you got to roll whenever you see something like this?
Let's see here. It is unquenchable vitality. No. It's curse, pure drive, hunger. It is act under pressure.
Okay, give that a roll.
I have to know, Jeff, are those parts connected?
It's a tentative connection. Much less sturdier than before.
Yeah. If not, we'll look in the classify for lost connections. So, all right. I'm going to take an audience die on this because it's really important. I don't eat this
fair
evidence.
Enough. So. Yeah, that's pretty fair, I think.
Please roll well. Okay. And you
whether he eats it or not, I'm taking Polaroids.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So even with the audience die, it's a 6.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so.
Oh no.
At least wipe those off.
Stuff.
So I'll say Anton and Corbin, you watch as Caleb starts sneaking up in the mud, slips, falls, makes a noise. The pigs scatter. As they start scattering, you see him get up. So this is your curse, right, Caleb? Is it pure drive? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
It says one emotion rules me. I can't. It is hunger for me.
you see
Whenever
Caleb, hands and knees on all fours, like he is a pig unto himself. Just trying to get up, like scrambling, falling down the mud, soaking himself with this mud, and he just leaps on top of this thing, on this body, and just starts. So, Anton and Corbin, what are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm photographing him eating it all.
Okay, Anton, you're just taking photos, no problem. Okay, Corbin,
I'm trying to get most of the body before it gets devoured so that we can maybe
you can
identify the body.
Take as many pictures as you want. That's not a problem.
I'll feel guilty about it later, but one thing that I can do is I can try and trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
Okay.
So I'll use, like, I am the one that raised him. And like I can't repeat that, but it's like a more minor spell. I'll like just kind of try and make his bones lock up and pull back.
Okay, it's
kind of keep him from. Yeah,
yeah. Is this a weird? You're doing a weird test. Okay, give that a test as. And Caleb, it is a person, a man. It is so. In this, Anton, you would probably notice this better than Caleb, but as he is just ravenously kind of going through it, and. Corbin, you reach out and let's see, on a miss, you lose control of the magic, and this never ends well. Yeah. So let's see. You inflict harm. Do a thing that's beyond human. This is a trap of specific person plus monster. Oh, that's the effects. The glitch is the effect is weaken. Okay. I'll say that
maybe I try and actually step in and physically stop him whenever the magic's not working, or
so we'll say that we'll say like the magic. Well, the magic I think needs to like what do we think is? It's not just a fizzle. Like that's no fun. Like how does the magic not work quite right? Like what goes wrong when you try to cast this spell, Corbin? You tell me.
I think initially I was trying to because I was using the fact that he's kind of undead and I was just trying to hold the bones back, so to speak. Maybe I actually caused one of his shoulders to kind of crack in a funny way or something. I was just trying to keep him from being able to reach the food, so I was just trying to halt the movement of his arms, but maybe that causes one of his arms to
yeah.
So,
or I don't know how wild you want to get, but in typical Jeff fashion, maybe the arm stays and the rest of my body moves forward.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to detach anything. Listen, we're not there yet. I do like the idea of
taking an arm. Yep.
And your arm just kind of in this this sort of like the Ring-esque kind of way. Mm-hmm. Just you hear this crunching of the joints and it just kind of gets folded back behind you in this really uncomfortable way. You hear this loud crack. Anton, you see it as well. Bones are not supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
Caleb, you say you feel intense pain. Well, we'll do a 0 harm. Don't mark anything, but it's just this intense pain. But the hunger is overriding that pain as you're still just devouring whatever is here in front of you. Anton, you're taking pictures. Corbin, your magic doesn't work. What do you do now?
Oh God.
I think I got enough pictures to identify him. Just let him eat. Just
stick nearby. I'm gonna Are there any clothes on this body that's there?
Yes, there are. It looks like coveralls probably at some point. You can't really tell the color anymore. They're soaked in mud and blood and such.
I'm just gonna do my best to pull those away. I can't stop my brother from eating the body, so maybe the best I can do is pull the coveralls away, and maybe there's something in one of the pockets.
I'll say you pull them away. We'll say that. Yeah, we'll say if you want something in your pockets, we'll say you kind of tear at it. They're so soggy from the mud and the sort of the moisture of the area that they just kind of rip free almost so easily, and plus so many tears and rips, and the body is in horrific state, gutted, feasted upon, like you cannot even recognize anything. However, Corbin, you do get a wallet. So you do have a wallet. So Anton, you've got a ton of pictures. Corbin, you have a wallet. I'll say you also have the last thing you see as you guys are starting to back away is you can see that it's definitely a man, younger, doesn't look to be like particularly old. You can't really recognize the face anymore, but you don't notice any like wrinkles or any and like you can see some bones are exposed here and there and like feasted upon by the pigs and by Caleb. But what do you guys do now that you discovered this thing?
How completely out of control am I? Like, am I able to do certain things as long as I am eating it?
So I think it's more of a I don't want to say it's a scene duration, but I'm trying to look at your.
Like, do you get sated at some point? Like you're not hungry anymore? Like.
So once you indulge it. So once you indulge it, which I think feasting on it, once you've eaten enough, and like most was saying, you can become satiated. Then yeah, I think you're fine. So what I think the complication is that you've just likely destroyed some evidence and. Okay. Yeah, you've really made it very difficult probably to sort of differentiate here. You've really sort of tainted the crime scene a bit. But
well, I mean, the best part is in the head, so.
Okay. You want to crack open the brain?
Yeah, I would crack open the brain, but I'm trying my best to make sure that the face is still there.
Oh, don't worry. The face was never there to begin with. That wasn't your doing.
Never mind. All right.
That was the pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like maybe a partial. That's how you can, but not a full face.
Caleb's not a face man.
The brains is how Caleb can function normally. So
okay.
Yeah.
You become satiated. Then eventually you calm down. No one's come and like found you guys, so it's really kind of up to you whether you do anything about this. So what did the three of you do at this point? Body on the ground. Pigs are nowhere near now. They've run away completely. The body's on the ground. You have a wallet.
Dude, Corbin, what happened?
There were some of those creepy pigs, and pigs did what they do, and you were investigating because you found a wallet. Caleb, you found a wallet. Good job. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Why am I covered in mud?
I got some great shots. We'll look at them later.
The body was in the mud. You just stepped in like a real trooper, buddy, and you got that wallet.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
boy, howdy.
I don't think we can identify it by what the face looks like.
Nope, those pigs really got it.
Yeah. Excuse me. I must have had a big breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, that diner, just crazy breakfast menu.
You got any towns, man?
So, do you guys then leave? Do you tell anybody? Do you call this in? Do you say anything to
what? There's
McKinney?
Nobody.
Okay.
Right. So, what I'm thinking is they're trying to get rid of this evidence here, and they were having the pigs do it. So, I don't think there's much to go by with what's here. So if you just throw it back in, the pigs will eat the rest.
So the pigs that were running, like, did they run in a particular? Because we didn't like these were different pigs.
They look just like the one that was sitting in the toilet with you. They look just like the one that was sitting in the car with you. They were different than the one that were on the farm. And they scattered in different directions, basically around, like just one of a group of them going one way down the coast of the lake, the other one going a different way.
Right, and we're just kind of in a little like off section of the lake.
It's a muddy, think of it like a kind of a muddy, swampy lake is sort of where you're at.
Yeah, in kind of a little muddy bay of pigs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Oh God. I see what you did.
Ow.
Take too hard.
Oh, I know why I did.
Okay. So I want to go back to Phil and Donna at some point. So, like, are you guys done here? Do you guys leave? Do you not tell anybody?
Find like where, like, this other batch of pigs are staying at, but they scattered in all different directions. And I
Did
don't
anybody
know.
look at the wallet?
Yeah, I'm doing my best to like clean stuff off the wall to look at it, but we can get to that later. Like,
Okay.
I'm in mid fecal decontamination.
Okay. So are we saying that you're searching for the pigs, or are we saying that you guys are leaving this crime scene? This is
I'll
something
bring
for
it
you
up
guys
and
to answer.
I'll leave it to Anton.
So
You did.
these pigs were
Bert, you're muted.
Bert. Sorry, I said, yeah, we should probably leave. So this is a Polaroid instant camera. So if all the incriminating photos of your brother, I hand those over to you.
Hey, what's that?
What a gentleman.
Okay. We'll say
Yeah,
you do this
you,
inside.
keep
Let's
those
say you
safe,
guys do this
Corbin.
inside the van. Let's say you guys. I want like we
Yeah.
should accelerate past. So we'll go back in your van. You gotta get back in your vehicle. You exchange the Polaroids. So Polaroids. You see the pigs. You see the body in various states. You see Caleb ripping this body to shreds. You open up the wallet. Wallet is a young man, late 20s or so, named Ronnie Drew. That's what you have. Ronald Drew, technically. Okay. So you have his name, you have his local address, definitely a local guy here and there. Looks like he has other basic cars. He's got like a gas card. He's got looks like a Sears card, that kind of stuff. And that's what you have. And a couple bucks that are soggy and gross at this point. I want to cut back to the Theodores. So after the library, what would we say you two wanted to do? Do you have something else in mind, or did we want to flash forward and meet up with the rest of them later? What are you guys feeling?
Did I win a cake?
Important first questions.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
What would you have done? What would your strategy for the cakewalk have been, Phil?
I follow the rules.
Okay.
No
give me an act
strategy,
under
just-
pressure. Give me an act
Yeah,
under
okay.
pressure. Yeah.
There it is. I'm hot where it counts.
Phil, you won a cake. You didn't
Is it carrot?
necessarily win a ton of friends, as they were kind of upset with a grown man taking the cake away from these kids that are competing. But you do, in fact, have a cake, and it's only carrot if you want it to be.
Nice. I do want it to be carrot.
It is a carrot
Ooh.
cake, then. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
beautiful. Okay.
I come into the library happy as can be to see what Donna's come up with.
Okay.
Well, look at you, brother.
I got us a cake.
You did. I was less successful. I learned a lot of the same things that we learned in the diner. That the guy called himself Razorback, kind of went a little off the rails.
I did learn something there. I overheard some police officers. They seemed like fine gentlemen.
Were they also competing in the cakewalk? My goodness.
They weren't. They were judging me, but I don't care because I have a carrot cake.
You do you.
Someone broke in evidence at the local police station and stole the pig mask from the person who did the kill 20 years ago.
Oh, well, I wonder if that's what Corbin was seeing with the pig on the toilet thing with the human looking eyes.
Very pig. There was all the bacon. There was the razorback. There was the pig he saw. Yeah. I wonder if we can get like pig spears or boar spears at the local hardware store for pig hunting.
Oh, that might be a good idea. Maybe we can load up on those, and then we'll probably meet up with them to try to use this key later tonight, right?
And we can all have some cake. Yeah, absolutely.
Cake and pig spears.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will say then that's exactly what happens. You guys spend a little bit of some time at local hardware stores. We can say you get spears and other things that you think would be useful against pigs. Not a problem at all. So you have some of those weapons. And we'll say sometime a couple hours later, evening time, as it does take a little time for the Reddings and Benkowski do the search, and then the drive to and from. We'll say just as maybe evening times, the sun's going down, you all come back together with your various stories. What's next? Did you guys want to go to the factory, or did you want to do something else instead?
I would be in favor of going to the factory, but I am waiting for nightfall to make our being.
It's evening time.
A little
sun's going down.
Less evident. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I do hand out pig spears to everyone and share the information I found.
I don't think I really need one.
And a slider cake.
What? Oh, did Corbin and Caleb, did you like wash your hands before you eat the cake? What is that? What do you have going on?
Caleb found a wallet.
Yeah. Found a wallet. It's
on a body.
Was it buried in a corpse?
Yes. Can you?
Oh, it was.
Corbin, can you that sentence again?
There were pigs eating the body, and I shooed them off and went and retrieved the wallet.
I believe that. I really do. Corbin, can you say what Caleb did again?
He found a wallet.
Does Corbin need a snack?
No, I'm feeling pretty good, but I do want some of that cake. Which
you're awfully.
I'm abnormally chipper and animated. Yeah.
Yeah. I will give you a cake. It's got some fantastic buttercream frosting on it.
I'm not hungry.
Delicious.
Here's the wallet I found.
I'll look through the wallet.
It's not the brother, is it? I mean, I don't know if we're going to get paid as much if it's the brother.
I'll show you the pics that I kept.
You gonna eat that Corbin? If you're not gonna eat it, can I have it?
No, it's all yours, man. I know you must be feeling real peckish.
No,
I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all.
It's just that this carrot cake's so good.
It's really good. Must be homemade. What's in the wallet?
We've got a driver's license for a Ronald Drew, local Bentonville. You've got a Sears card and a gas card as well, and about $11.
Not what I was expecting. Okay.
See of a similar age to Waddle.
Yeah, like mid to late 20s. It looks like same age, roughly the same age as Waddle, roughly the same age as the younger brother has been described.
So what's this guy's name again? I'm sorry.
Ronald Drew.
Ronald Drew. Okay.
And these guys are early 20s, and the murders all happened 20 years ago.
Oh,
that's correct.
I wonder if these are children of the people who originally killed. Generational revenge.
Son of Razorback.
I mean,
I'll share
maybe
the story about the mask getting stolen too.
Oh.
Maybe if this town had a better library, I could have figured out who all of those people were that were murdered. But clearly the library was the problem, not Donna's role. When she was
clearly a town that believes words are for nerds.
When I went in there, it was all children's book and just a lot of VHS tapes. You could check it. Like, it might as well been a Buster. Like, they had so many copies of Superman 3.
Oh, with the robot?
Yeah.
Cool.
Copies of what? 3?
Superman.
Oh.
Rich Pryor's funny as hell.
He is. He really is. I still don't think he belongs in a Superman movie. Anyway,
we'll say all this conversation. We'll say all this conversation happened in the cars as you're driving, etc.
Yes,
you're sharing. I assume everyone shares information with each other, which you saw, and we'll say you make it to the factory. It doesn't look like there is anyone from local law enforcement here, though. You definitely see crime tape everywhere, right? And it's an enormous factory. It just kind of sits up atop this hill. It's like looms in the darkness. Like, you can just see it's almost like this gothic shape of an old castle almost as you start driving up the pathway towards it. You can see an overrun employee parking area no cars there, but you can definitely tell like there's been some people coming and going, likely the cops and things like that. Again, you don't notice any vehicles or anything like that around. It looks like the place is quiet. No lights. I'm assuming everyone's got flashlights and things. That's fine. You have your keys. Is there anything you do? Do you just go inside? Do you go looking around? Is like what do we do?
I would like to suggest that we find a secluded place to park just a little ways off.
Sure.
That way they don't see the headlights coming up, and that anyone else driving up doesn't see our cars parked on the side of the road. They will trek by foot, walk the perimeter, and then if it's not too big, it could be huge.
We will keep making the same mistakes every time where we park really far
Every
away.
time
We can't get to the
cars
vehicles to
behind.
run.
Okay. So you guys park. You find a careful place to park, hide it, obscure it, etc. Then what?
Walk the perimeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
You walk the perimeter. You can see in the dying light of the day. Well, actually, it's probably beyond that now. But it will say it's an open sky tonight. There's plenty of stars, so there's a little bit of light. There's really nothing else around. Just wilderness. It looks to be like kind of overgrown pasture here and there. Again, it's all atop a hill. Looks like you can see some lake stuff, some water out in the distance, some reflection here and there, swampland, lakeland, something like that. You can see you'd probably have a better view of the surroundings during the day. At night, you can't tell if there's any sort of other shacks or auxiliary buildings or anything like that. Walking around the perimeter, the place is not in terrible condition. It certainly doesn't look like it's being used, but there's definitely some basic property upkeep that's happening here. You can see there's plenty of closed signs and things like that. There's a few different annex buildings that are connected by these fenced off areas here and there. A couple doorways and entrances that go into like the office managers' offices and things like that. But second level as well. Windows here and there boarded up, all of them boarded up. You don't see any that are not boarded up as you circumvent the grounds at all. It's very quiet. You do notice like at night, definitely there's like a significant increase in like insects, like really kind of getting around you. You can feel yourselves kind of having to swat some flies away here and there. But that's about it.
Should we start at the office?
That's fair. Yeah.
Go inside.
Office or crime? I mean,
that is a good choice. Yeah, there's a choice to be. There are two different places. One, the crime, as far as you learned, was on one of the factory floor areas, and then the office is separate. So there's two different ways.
You're right. We should probably start there first. That's going to be much more interesting than the boring office.
Okay.
All right, I'll lead the way.
You open up these big old heavy doors. There's like this, like there's a big chain, but you have the keys. Everything's there. You feel the drag. There's some rust. The door, when it opens, you're hit with the smell of just rancid meat. It just hits you right in the face. This underlying texture of like sulfur and almost like a huge, like a giant like cloud of more of those like insects come wafting kind of out in your direction, just like hitting you on the face as you go, almost like you're driving and your faces are the windshield as they pass by.
Question is, how long ago was it? Did we get an idea of how long ago it was that Red's body was discovered?
2 days.
Okay. That's fresh enough. All right.
That's an interesting bouquet.
It is.
Well,
Okay.
Anybody got
Pull
any
my
lights?
shirt up over my mouth so I don't swallow flies.
If everyone's got flashlights, it's fine.
Okay.
Say, I don't have flashlights, no issues.
So I click on my flashlight. I The smell isn't something that I would assume bothers me, but if so, then I'll bring my shirt up over my face and perhaps just to make them feel a little better too. But I'm gonna go like straight in, flashlight down to look, make sure I don't step on something, and then slowly start working the flashlight up so I can start looking for that infamous hook.
Okay. Start searching around. I presume you guys are following, kind of keeping relatively close.
Yeah.
The interior is filled with machinery. Like they've never broke it down. Like you can see there's assembly lines, there's grinders, there's rafters, there's chains coming down from the ceiling here and there. Like it still looks like all of the factory equipment is here. Never been sold off, never been repurposed, but it also doesn't look like it's been used. There's a series of rust and stains and grime and dirt and all that kind of stuff as you start searching around. At a certain point, go ahead, man.
No.
At a certain point, as you guys are moving around the fairly quiet grounds, the machinery starts suddenly kicking on. You can see the assembly lines kind of stir up. You can hear some of the grinding equipment. You see these chutes that's kind of these metal rusted chutes that go down at this grinded area where like these rafters kind of circulate around it. You can see some chain pulleys kind of go up and down, up and down. You guys doing?
Reader to the office. We need to find off.
Somebody push a button. Did somebody push a button? Don't push the buttons.
I don't think anyone pushed a button. Someone else did this. Or a ghost.
Who's out there? Donna just sort of yells a bit.
Donna, you yell, and as you do, this swath like this of flies just comes right at your face, and you get bugs in your mouth. Corbin, you noticed as these chains are kind of going up and down. Phil, you're looking for an office. They're going up and down, Corbin, up and down. Suddenly you see there's like a stall. Like they don't go up as quickly. And then they keep going. And they kind of like, they stutter. And you see coming up above the machinery, there's now something hanging from a hook on the end of that chain. It looks like a body.
Is that a pig or a person?
Looks like a person.
There's another one, right? That's, yeah.
Well, Anton, you good? You got it?
Yeah. I get a better angle. Hey, we need to find that office. It just came to me. That receipt with bacon. It had a date on it. Look for this date if you find some folders. Maybe accident reports.
Oh,
Good to know. Can we turn this stupid shit off, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking on the floor for some sort of control panel.
Okay. So Caleb, you're looking for it. Phil, you get into the office.
Yeah.
Something else?
No, I forgot about the office. I was gonna, when he started looking for a control panel, I was gonna help him by looking for electrical conduits that would lead to a control panel to help him find.
You two then start scurrying around. The office waits. You two start scurrying around. You're looking for any signs of like some sort of like, and you're finding like cables and such in the ground, strips in the ground here and there, kind of tracking them as they go up and around these kind of rusted walkways here and there. Eventually, the two of you will say you're on top of this small handful of steps, like kind of little platform that walks parallel to this assembly line right on the other side, where you see the body comes slowly coming down. You see a man, maybe in his late 20s or so. It's as if the body is gonna like attach this massive meat hook, lowers down, and like almost like this gentle placement as you all turn the power off for the hook, and you see the body just kind of get laid down. It's been gutted. Body completely like disemboweled. You see there's no innards. All of it's been spilled. There's a huge chunk on the ground. The assembly line is kind of covered in this blood and gore that's sliding down. And it's at that point, Caleb and Phil, as you're staring down at it, you hear this squealing sound. And then suddenly you hear a thunk, and you look right next to you, right between the two of you, this giant meat cleaver just embedded into this metal panel. And when you look back across the assembly, across where the body of this man has been laid down, you see a figure 10 feet tall. He's got this big old leather butcher apron on, huge, muscular, grimy arms. He's got these heavy, heavy hooks and cleavers, and he has a belt covered with all sorts of sharp slaughter tools. But you can't see his face because his face is obscured by what looks like a pig mask. And then the squeals come one last time, and you see him throw this sharp knife in your direction as he lets out a squeal. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. And we will pick up on that next time.
Hey.
All right?
Oh.
God gracious.
Okay.
That pig squeal. Oh gosh, that's a sound.
So good.
Two of them.
That's a
That's intense.
sound.
I bought those special
Very
because I
intense.
really wanted to bring
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
They're
I don't
cheap.
blame you.
Jeff goes that extra mile.
I love it. Oh god, so good. Yeah, definitely reminded me of that. What was my character's name, Jeremy? The meat
The
guy?
meat man. I
The
don't
meat
remember.
man. Yeah.
From
God,
the
so
spin-off of the Loop.
No, that was Spectaculars, wasn't it? That was Spectaculars, right?
You had the
yeah, that was
van
over on
with the
Cardboard.
hooks
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
So
I was
good.
basically the Punisher, but a butcher. Like that was the difference. That's basically what my guy was. Okay.
Cut into crime.
All right. So yeah, that's it. We'll pick us up and hopefully finish in 2 weeks next time we play. This round. This is pretty fun. I really like this. This is a scenario that's actually in one of the books. So the first time I kind of just made one of my own. This one I'm kind of taking one that's already existing and kind of tweaking it here and there. But mostly I'm trying to run it because it just fit really, really perfectly with some ideas that I had. So a lot of fun. Why don't we do some closing plugs and then we'll get on out of here. So Chuck, what's going on with DOK?
Well, let's start with Tuesday. Tuesday on our YouTube, we have all day Halloween starting at 8 a.m. with a Oops Goblins Pathfinder 2 game. Go to midnight. We have back-to-back spooky actual plays all goddamn day. Wednesday is going to be very dependent on my internet sorting itself out. If it's acting right, we're going to be doing more Dungeon Crawl Classics, our Night Below campaign. And then still the same for Friday, we're going to be doing Anvia, the game that Joe is making. He's from a campaign, so we're going to be playing that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. Bert, what's going on with the Steam Steal and Murder?
I'm not exactly sure yet, 100%. Since tomorrow is Halloween, we've got a number of players that can't make our werewolf game. May run a spooky game anyway, just because Halloween. Other than that, Friday we will have we'll have our regular Dungeons and Dragons game, I believe. And Saturday is Cyberpunk Red.
Fantastic. Jeremy, you got a Patreon to tell us about?
Sure, Aaron Reese on Patreon. If you got comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff, check it out.
And Adam, what are you up to, buddy?
Well, we are in an interesting phase of focusing on getting some news ready. So if you want to hear the latest that's going on, you can either come to our website and sign up for our mailing list, growingperilous.com, or also from the website, you can go to our YouTube channel, Growing Perilous Studios, and you will hear an announcement there whenever we announce our next big thing.
Awesome. Very nice. As for us here, we don't have a game tomorrow as it is Halloween, as has been mentioned, if you haven't heard about this. So we're taking the night off from Halloween, but we will be back on Thursday. You can see myself, Melissa, Jeremy, as we are playing some Werewolf the Apocalypse, the new version 5. Then Friday, we are starting up a new game. Aaron is running us through Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory. Perhaps you've heard of this. So we're going to be doing some session 0, making up some characters, seeing what that's all about. And Saturday, the plan right now is to do a couple weeks of Mothership before we start our Call of Cthulhu campaign end of November, early December. So for the next couple of weeks, come back, watch us play some Mothership. And then next Monday, Fragged Empire. Can see Chuck and Jeremy. Well, maybe we might be able to see Chuck. We'll see. Chuck and Jeremy and Melissa, myself, playing that. And obviously our X-Men game will be back next Tuesday. And if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, Adventures in Lollygagging, please do. Tons of games over there. Give us a follow, give us a sub, and give all these other people follows and subs. And thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. Enjoy your Halloween. We're gonna raid our friends over at, let's see, Lost Caravan RPG is up, so we're going to give them a raid. Follow that raid, and we'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.